Hey, this is Mark, and I'm actually all right. All right, so this is Mark, and I'm actually just going to talk about today how you can get business credit to help fund, whatever project or whatever passion that you have. And there's a lot of companies out there that start something. A lot of people that start something and they're unable to get funding, and so they end up closing their business, or they just have a really painful way to do business. And so today I'm going to talk about how you can get business credit for your business. And there's ways that you can do it without a personal guarantee. Now, it's a good thing and there's a bad thing about that, but there runs the risk, if you do default on your loans and your lines of credit, that hey man, it's going to be one of those things where the bank's going to be reporting on your personal credit, your credit score is going to go down and things like that. But if you're able to have a really good project and you're able to make money because you already understand how to make money, you just need additional funding, this is probably something that you may be interested in. And so getting cash advances of 50,000, 100,000, up to like 250 grand, at least for starters, you can certainly do that easily using business credit. And if you have a passion that you want to fund, you've got real estate deals, which is what I like to do. You absolutely need funding. And banks and traditional funding sources are denying applications, and a lot of it has to do with that your scenario or your image at the time that they look at your scenario, your finances, your credit score, your business credit score, and those types of scenarios. I mean, it can really affect how much a bank is going to have an appetite for your scenario, your image at the time that they look at you. And so they end up, a lot of business owners, they start a business and they start working, and then they find out that they need more money. And then they just go out to like Wells Fargo or US Bank and they say, hey, I need a line of credit. I need 15,000, I need $25,000. And what do I have to do in order to get that that amount? And then so the business banker is going to be looking at you going, okay, well, tell me about your business, blah 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 blah, we do this, we do that. How long have you been in business? That's going to be one of the questions that they ask. Do you have an articles of incorporation? Do you have an EIN? And you need to be able to say yes to all of that. Okay. If you're not prepared and you say that maybe you do have your EIN, you do have your articles of incorporation, and you're an LLC or S corp or whatever it is, but then let's say you don't have any business credit. I mean, you don't have any credit in the name of the business, not your personal being, if you will. So then they're going to ask for, well, let's go ahead and run your FICO score. Well, you can have them run your FICO score. If you haven't taken care of your personal credit, you most likely won't get a favorable terms with the bank. Now, there are some banks that I've recently run into that will take, credit scores as low as 630 from what I've seen. And it's not necessarily a line of credit. It's more like a Visa Platinum credit card that you can get, which is nice. But that's going to be tied to your personal credit. So in order to build business credit, you really have to follow a systematic approach to building the business's credit and creating a PAYDEX score, which will allow you to operate within the business realm of the credit depositories or the credit bureaus, and that they're not as lenient as personal credit bureaus. You mess up, it's going to be on there, and it's going to be very hard to remove those because you're playing at a different level. For personal, yeah, you can easily build your credit here and get things removed off of your credit. Those are much easier than business credit bureaus and getting things removed from them. So there are alternatives out there for financing, and my friend Jeremy, who is basically going to be doing a webinar. I think there's 3 different times that you can get this information, and he's going to talk to you about how you can get cash advances uh, from like $100,000 plus with no personal guarantee, and it's business credit without using your personal credit score, so no FICO score qualifications. And that's really where you want to be, is because let's say, for instance, that your business does take a dip and you're unable to create enough revenue to pay them, the payments that you've taken out on these loans. Well, the banks at that point, if you're personally guaranteeing it, they're going to be starting to report to your personal credit as opposed to the personal credit profile for the business, or excuse me, the business credit profile of the business. And so that's what you want. If you close the business, if it goes, defunct, and we hope that never happens. I mean, all the credit that was extended to that business entity is gone with the business entity. Your personal credit is still fine. And I'm not saying that is something that you can just go ahead and run up a whole bunch of bills and credit lines and then go ahead and just close the business and file bankruptcy at the business level. I mean, that's no way to be an ethical business person. But if you can protect your own credit and have that for your personal side, and then you have the business side, then that's the way to do it. And then do the best that you can in order to run the business, in order to make money, pay your debt, and make profit, and take care of your employees and your customers. That's where all of us really, I think, want to be. I mean, all of us have that good side of us that where we want to be able to be successful. And so the webinar really is about 45 minutes, and I was quite impressed because once you'll see, the presentation, I mean, there's testimonials of people that have actually done very well. And I myself have gotten $100,000 and using some of the strategies inside of this particular webinar. But then I started doing some other research outside of that as well. And it's absolutely true. You can get money aside from your personal credit score, and I'm using mine for real estate. So what Jeremy has done is that he's created a unique process for obtaining credit and credit cards, credit lines, and he'll show you how to get up to 100 grand. And this can happen within 60 days, depending on where you're at as far as the credit creation process. And if you have bankruptcies, that's fine. Not a problem at all. If you have foreclosures, not a problem at all. As a matter of fact, I had 2 foreclosures and a bankruptcy. And that's because I was playing in the real estate market back in 06, 07, 08, and then everything fell. Well, like a lot of other people, I'd say probably about 90% of the people did have a hard time. Judgments. If you have judgments on your personal credit, that's not a problem at all because it's a completely separate profile that's not associated with your own personal profile. If you have low credit scores, that's okay. If you have late payments on your personal credit score, that's okay. And if you have no credit score, let's say that you're a student just coming out of college, never had a credit card, never had an auto loan or anything like that, and you have a 0 credit score or even a 200 credit score, it's not because you have bad credit, it's just you don't have any credit, So that's what you can fix. All of that. All of this is fixable. It's not an issue. So maybe you could use $100,000 in cash advance. Maybe you could use just $50,000. The money is there as long as you are meeting the criteria that the banks are looking for. And Jeremy will tell you exactly what to say, how to say it, when to say it, when you're applying, and when the bankers call you and they're, asking questions about, your finances, your business, how long you've been in business. You want to be able to prove to them and have a very strong footprint out there that you are a real business, not just a sole proprietorship, etc. So if you need cash for closing real estate deals, you might want to take a look at this webinar and get more information. If you need cash to cover your payroll, you might want to look at this to be able to make sure that your payroll is secure, that you can still operate as a business owner. And what about your marketing? Do you have enough money for your marketing expense? And because a lot of people, the first thing when they run tight in their business is that they pull back on their marketing and expect to still make a whole bunch of money. Well, normally that's, in the normal scenario, that is not an issue that that will help. Well, let me take that back. It's not the smartest thing to do to create more revenue is to pull back on your marketing. You always want your marketing out there, and you have to spend the money. You have to use the avenues to get the word out about your person, your business, your brand, your products, your services, and any testimonials that you might have access to. Maybe you're just trying to create a new product. Maybe you have a new product line that's going to be supplementing your additional products, your core product methodology of expanding your product lines. Or maybe you just want to grow your business in a different way. I really don't know, but I can tell you this: you're going to need capital, and take a look at this webinar so that you can get more information. Now, for what I understand, when I was actually on the webinar, there's only like 99 lines. So I'd say that you sign up, make sure that you keep it on your calendar, and then access the webinar at the time that you've chosen. Sometimes they do have webinars that are available right now, so you can view the last replay. Sometimes they don't. So my suggestion to you is just go ahead and click on the link associated on this page, take a quick gander, and be interested to find out what you thought, as well as if you see an opportunity, take it, because in this life you've got to be daring. So that's all I've got for you today. Business credit, leverage that, make more money, and also be responsible, not only just in your personal finances, but in your business dealings with people and collaboration with other people. And there's always a way to collaborate. I've learned that over the few years that I've been in the real estate business and the last 8 years in my marketing business. So hope this was value to you. Go ahead and click on the link. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Mark Coble out.